I'm struck by how your ministry, your recording really reaches across generations. What is that intergenerational appeal from?
So I am a young person at the same time, but I have an old soul. And so I love old music. Anything that
So hold up, let's pause right there. Can we pause right there? Because when I talk to folks and they say old music,
all gospel music.
give me some decades or a century.
I prefer gospel from the 60s and 70s.
Okay, because some of my students, I teach in a music department in Cambridge, and my students will tell me that old music, 2005. Jesus. Okay, so 60s, 70s. Interesting.
So that is a big part of what you hear in anything that I write and stuff, because that's all I listen to.
So can you give me some names?
Of course, my home church, the Institutional Radio Choir. Yes, Charles Hayes and Cosmopolitan. James Cleveland and everything that he did, all of his work, countless number of songs and albums, and that's what I keep in my entire rotation.
Yeah.
Day in and day out. I love all of what you hear today as well, but that music specifically is what I really enjoy.
Yeah, because at least as a listener, I can tell your sensibility for the radio.
Yes.
Because I feel like you give us like a variety of textures.
It's a bit of everything. It's a bit of the old school and new school all intertwined together.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
Right. So though you have that sensibility, you guys, like, if you ever have the opportunity to see like a complete concert by Pastor Bohanan, you will not be disappointed at all. Am I telling the truth? Not at all. Specifically, there's this term we like to use within religion called liturgy. Right, so the work of the people is one way to think about it. And it looks like ritual, it looks like the things we are accustomed to doing as a people. The first piece of footage that I remember of you guys had the 60s and 70s sort of processional. So can I get a little kick drum, sir? Oh, just a slow one, a processional.
Come this far about it.
Yeah, come this far about it.
There it is. That's it. That's it. That's it.
And you see your mother.
Yeah, that's Dr. Jones. She's at Cambridge now.
I guess the old school church a little bit, and I miss seeing the choir march in. It was exciting to see that every week, to see what they were going to have on, to see
How many have seen that? How many have seen the choir march in? Oh, that's the whole experience you guys.
It's a whole experience, and so as a child, I was always excited to see it, because even though it was the same people every week,
Right.
it was just exciting just to see their robes, and just to see their hair, just to see all of the theatrics of it all. It was kind of like a play every week, and that I would just get so excited about. And so these days I miss it so much, because you rarely see it. You rarely see the choir having the opportunity to now march in and show off their robe, and just see them really just command the space and command the entire service. I believe that was a part where we knew that the choir was getting ready to kill.
Yeah.
It was off of the way they came in.
Right.
I said, I know I'm going to get it today. I know I'm going to slay the house today.
Yeah.
Every time we marched in, I just knew that the institutional radio choir was going to just killing type service.
Yeah.
And they did.
Because literally, when you guys marched in, it probably was this concert I saw that was like in Atlanta.
Yes.
And literally, as you guys entered, people were screaming because they knew what y'all were doing. Before you sang a note, people were like, ah!
People miss that. Really, truly, they miss it. They miss that experience. And I think that, first of all, people have to get in their church choirs again. So that's number one. I can get back to the church choir.
The ones that got it.
Really miss that experience and they miss just seeing the choir and just the entire feel and the vibe that the choir brought to the service. It was just amazing.
Absolutely, and I know that Maestro has mentioned an interest for this body to even look at fashion.
Yes.
So please tell me how you guys
Brooklyn is wild.
Again, you need to see what they create with all the components.
New York City is a world all by itself. And so we still dress up for church. Suits, ties, three-piece suits, hats, all the way to the ceiling. That's a part of our church culture. And that's just what I know to do as well. You know when to do it, when not to do it. But that is a part of what we do in New York City. Just wearing your Sunday's best. You know, I think that, what we wear today is great, but there's nothing like putting on your Sunday's best. Nothing like wearing a good suit, wearing a good hat, wearing some good shoes, and just enjoying Jesus. All together as one, and everybody looks so nice. That's what I come from. We dressed up every Sunday.
Right.
2 outfits per Sunday.
Costume change. The Lord wants that reasonable service. Amen.
And so you see a hint of that with my choir as well. If you knew my mother, she was one that loved to.
What's her name?
Marie P. Bohanan. All right, and she was one that dressed up every single Sunday. And she was in the choir, but even after she took off the robe, she had a whole outfit.
The reveal.
She had an outfit after the robe. And so, all of that I just miss. And so I try to put that into what I do today, just to kind of bring me to where I need to be, because I miss it a lot. I really do.
The thing I appreciate, and perhaps this is a part of the intergenerational appeal, is that you have these moments like the processional that many of us, we remember practicing. We remember that sort of presence that each church would have coming in. You have these moments that give us that nostalgia, but there seems to be this lovely balance that you have with that nostalgia that gets us energized, but then also the worship. What is your approach to getting that balance? To give us that nostalgia, those things that we love, but then to also give us the message.
Well, I realize that you've got to be one that reaches everybody. And there are some people that don't know anything about the whole robe and all that stuff, but they know of what they see, now. What they see now. They see all of the CCM and all of that, which is great. And so I also try to use that in what I do today as well, because everything is needed. Everything is needed, and if you're going to now reach everybody, you got to learn how to reach them where they are. And so that's what I try to do. I try to reach everybody. The church people, CCM people, the older people, the seasoned people, and the younger people as well.
I love seasoning. Yes.
Yeah, they don't want to be called old.
Yes, I use seasoning as well, absolutely. And so I asked Pastor Morgan this. Many people would say that there's been a decline in choral participation, but your events and your recordings seem to be teaming with individuals.
Yes.
What do you think is the draw to the participation?
So we still have a great number of people, and I still have 12 years with my choir, and I actually have 2 choirs now, but the thing that drives them there is because they're getting something new, they're getting something fresh, they're getting something that they know, and I'm always teaching new music at the same time. It's nothing old, nothing stale, but I believe that that is the thing. And there's something about the choir that brings everybody together. You know, it's just something that the people are now able to all come together and love on each other. We can cry together, we can praise together, we can do everything together as one. And that's something that you can't find anywhere else. But the choir will bring everybody together as one. And I think that's what draws the people and draws all of the young people that I have today, because they're getting something that they've never seen before. And that's why I still have them, and they are rocking with me all the way.
And so, how has the pandemic shifted worship in your community?
The pandemic was interesting. You saw a lot of different changes, and during that year, we weren't really able to come together, even though I came together anyway. And I had
with a mask on.
with the mask on. I think we had about 2 concerts, and we all were, you know, what we had to wear just to keep everybody safe. But 2020 was interesting because you didn't know what was going to happen, and we weren't all able to now sing together and come together the way that we knew. But I was just praying and said, God, you got to do something, because the world needs the choir. The world needs the choir to come together and to feel each other, and just to feel the vibe of each other. And so here we are in 2025. We're so much further than where we were in 2020, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm just so glad that all of us are able to now come together and sing together without any mask, and just worship and praise God together. That's something we can praise God about. A little bit.
And so my show has mentioned rest as one of the major themes, as well as We Win, the song that you have taught us. Tell us about what brought us this song.
Oh, We Win. Oh my God. So We Win it came from a horrible place. I wrote this song for my mother. She transitioned 2017 now. August 23rd, 2017, I wrote this song for her while she was sick, and she was just, you know, and so much stuff was happening. And I wrote this song for her, and I said, we always win no matter what comes our way. And no matter what we face, we always win. And that was something that brought her some type of ease, you know, some type of peace within her mind. Because when you're in so much pain and you've got cancer all over, you know, you don't know what's actually happening. And so the Lord gave me those words and said, we always win no matter what. And so I was able to then encourage her with those words and just tell her that, you know, no matter what happens, you always win. And so that's where that comes from. And so every time I sing it, all of that plays in my mind. But at the same time, I'm able to see how it also encourages so many different other people with whatever they have in their own lives and in their personal lives. We always win, you know, and life is life sometimes. It gets real hard, you know, with so many different things, so many different factors with your health, with your finances, with this, with that. And sometimes you don't feel as if you're winning, but we are undefeated people because of Him. And we always win no matter what. And at the end of our story, we always win. And I believe that she has the victory today on the other side. You know, on the other side. And so here we are today, years later. I'm able to sing it, and I'm able to share it with the world and let everybody know that we always win. But it came from a hard place. It came from a rough place, but here we are, and it's able to help millions of people today.
Well, if I could say, just from a ministerial standpoint, I absolutely agree. Every time I've heard you talk about your emergence, you've always said her name. You've always shouted her out. That is,
boy.
yeah, but that is women. Bohanan.